Well, it's happening. The 2-week return window for the Apple Vision Pro is quickly closing, and many customers are doing just that. They're returning the Apple Vision Pro to Apple and getting a full refund of their $3,500+ purchase. That's a lot of money to be either taken off of your credit card, added back into your checking accounts. Whatever way they chose to pay for the Apple Vision Pro, their money is coming back. And I think that's a big deal. A big deal enough to the point where I just stopped watching Breaking Bad. Now, of course, I finished the episode. I will never leave mid-episode. That's just crazy. I came upstairs, I sat down, and I wanted to record a video because I have some things to say regarding why I believe so many people are returning the Apple Vision Pro. First of all, let's start with that. So many people. Who is exactly? And why? Now, let's not get confused. This doesn't mean over 50% of Apple Vision Pros are being returned. I highly doubt that. If I had to predict, it's between maybe 10 and 30% of purchases, which is still pretty significant. But keep in mind, I think a lot of people may have bought the Apple Vision Pro originally with the plan of returning the Apple Vision Pro. And I gotta be honest, that's not the worst plan in the world, especially if you're a YouTuber. And part of me thinks I should have jumped on this hype train. I should have ordered myself the Apple Vision Pro, made numerous videos over the course of 2 weeks, and then returned the Apple Vision Pro. It's a win-win. I get to experience a product, I get a ton of views, and potentially a ton of money through advertising revenue. So I guess in a way it's a win-win-win. But yeah, that ship has clearly sailed and that opportunity is behind me forever. I'm never going to get that chance again. Or will I? Which actually brings me to my next point. I do want the Apple Vision Pro very, very badly. But it's a very polarizing product. And by polarizing, I mean it's very, very split down the middle. Some people think it's ridiculous. Many people think this is not the future. But then again, there's people like me. I like to think I'm somewhat of a visionary and I like to think of the future because trust me, I made this horrible mistake in the past with the Apple Watch. I thought I wasn't an Apple Watch guy, and yes, I'm not wearing one today. I don't typically wear one in the winter because of hoodies, and I don't want to do this every time. Maybe I'm lazy, maybe I'm weird, I don't know. Let's just go with weird. But the Apple Vision Pro, I do think, is much like the iPhone, much like the Apple Watch, much like the iPad. It's going to get a slow start, but it's going to take a while to get there. Much longer than something like the iPhone or Apple Watch took, because I will 100% stand by my original statement that I mentioned when the Apple Vision Pro was originally announced. And that's the fact that the average person does not want to wear a headset. I don't even want to wear a headset for that long. And I'm a proud tech nerd. I'm an Apple geek. I love and breathe and live technology. Hence why I have a room completely dedicated to gaming. I just love my tech. But there's something about the Apple Vision Pro. It kind of makes me worry. And by that, I mean, should Apple have waited even longer? Because I think the top reason, one of the top reasons why people are returning the Apple Vision Pro already is because of the comfort issues. Now, obviously, if a headset is not comfortable, you're not going to want to wear it, right? And guys, I've been there sometimes with my Meta Quest 2 and Meta Quest 3. Now, thankfully, the Meta Quest 3 doesn't really give me any issues, but there are those moments where when I'm wearing it with my glasses, sometimes I have to adjust it, but it's not a big deal. But the Apple Vision Pro is much more limited in that sense, meaning that I need to get those Zeiss lenses or I need to be wearing my contacts. So in other words, I cannot be wearing my glasses. But I'm not going to focus on that too much. That's just more of an annoyance, and hey, I'm just going to say it. It sucks having sucky vision, for the lack of a better word. I hate my eyesight. It's just gotten gradually worse as I get older, but it's something we have to deal with. And unfortunately, wearing glasses with the Apple Vision Pro is just not realistic. I mean, if anything, it's probably impossible because you need the light seal and everything for the proper FOV, all that stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to sit down and talk about this because I do feel like it's a big deal. I don't think the Apple Vision Pro is doomed. I do think some people are being extremely dramatic in saying that this is not the future. I do think it's the future, but it's going to take a long time to get there. Now, what do I think the Apple Vision Pro's future should be? Well, I mean, guys, you're looking at them already. My glasses. I want something like this. But for that to happen, we're going to need some incredibly futuristic display technology. And unfortunately, that's not available because, well, just that. I put a heavy emphasis on the word futuristic because it quite literally does not exist yet. However, we do have something like the Meta Ray-Bans, which I do want very badly. I do want those because using the Meta AI assistant with the camera and the built-in speakers, apparently it's a really cool experience. And part of me thinks Apple should have started in that sense. Just start with something smaller. Start us out with the idea of putting a computer on our face, but don't close us out from the rest of the world. But hey, I mean, obviously it's too late now. Apple has already released this $3,500 product. And honestly, yeah, it's not a hit right now, but I do give them props. I respect the fact that they did actually come through with their promise besides the whole eyesight thing. That is a blatant advertising lie, and I love you, Apple, but come on. You misled everybody with that. It looks nothing like it did in your promo videos and the keynote video and all that stuff, but that's advertising for you. But yeah, they did create something they promised. A $3,500, highly technical, VR, AR, mixed reality, spatial computing, whatever you want to call it, headset. And it does exactly as advertised, except for the whole eyesight thing. Because based on what I've seen on videos, the Apple Vision Pro is the most technologically impressive headset by far. And this is coming from someone who loves his Meta Quest 3. Now, do I use that thing every single day? No. If I did get an Apple Vision Pro, would I wear that thing every single day? No. Honestly, I wouldn't. Now, would I wear it more often than my Quest 3? It's pretty safe to assume, yeah, possibly, because unlike the Meta Quest, obviously the Apple Vision Pro ties me and ties you directly into the Apple ecosystem, meaning I have my iMessage, I have my Apple TV experience, I have YouTube at some point. For now, you have to download a $5 app called Juno. Not a big deal. I mean, honestly, it looks pretty good. However, with that said, what would actually convince me to buy the Apple Vision Pro, let's say in the next month or two? Honestly, the biggest thing that will convince me to spend that much money is if I know it's going to be worth it as a content creator who actually lives alone. By the way, I don't have a family in this house. It's just me and a bunch of cats. So the idea of closing myself out from the rest of the world doesn't bother me at all. If anything, I like that. As sad as it sounds, I don't mind eating alone. I don't mind watching movies alone. Oftentimes, I prefer it that way. That's just how I am. There's a huge difference between being lonely and being alone. I forget who said that, but that's like one of the best things I ever read online. I love that, and it's so true. But anyway, going back to my point, if I did get the Apple Vision Pro, I would try my best to utilize it from a content creator's perspective. Meaning I would create a ton of videos for you guys. I would vlog using it. I mean, just picture having a truly first-person perspective of me throughout my day. Now, of course, I wouldn't take it out in public. You know, it's like thrift stores and Wawa and whatever. Maybe one day when it's a lot smaller and more socially acceptable. But with someone with social anxiety, I don't feel comfortable going out in public with it yet, because I just feel like I would grab so much attention from strangers, and well, let's face it, I'm not always in the mood to strike up a conversation with a stranger, at least with something strapped to my head. It's just kind of awkward to me. But anyway, guys, this video has no point. I just wanted to hop on the hype train, to be perfectly honest, because I had some thoughts to say. Also, one quick note, going back to the very beginning of this video, I think a lot of these people returning their Vision Pros are just content creators. And I use the word just loosely. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing, but let's be honest. They bought the Vision Pro on day one. They made their videos. Again, they made a ton of money, and now they're returning the Vision Pro because they don't really want it, because maybe they're not tech enthusiasts like you and myself. Maybe they're just your typical person who just happens to be huge on YouTube, and they're more so into health and fitness. They're into vlogging. They're into making food or whatever, you know? But for someone like me, I do think the Vision Pro could be worth it, especially for movie watching alone. The movie watching experience looks absolutely incredible, And I'm big on pixels. I'm big on audio. And apparently the spatial audio is absolutely incredible. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't. I will throw this out there though. I do have some money coming in because I have some web design clients currently in the works. I'm potentially getting a tax refund this year, which is rare for me. So if I do make some extra money between now and tax season or May or June or whenever, then yeah, there is a good chance you're going to be seeing some Apple Vision Pro footage, actual content on this channel. But for now, I just wanted to make this video and express my opinion on why people are returning the Vision Pros, because they got what they needed and now they're giving it back. The whole comfort issue can be solved by using maybe a third-party band that will come out in the future. But for now, that's definitely an issue. But hey, keep in mind, for many people, comfort is not an issue. Using something as personal as a let's just say mixed reality, spatial computing headset is just that. It's very, very personal. So yeah, I mean, I'll just leave it at that. It's a very polarizing product, but I don't think anybody in their right mind can actually deny the fact that it's a fascinating product at the same time. And we could very well be looking back on this day 3, 4, 5, even 10 years from now and saying, wow, this is what Apple had in mind. This was their big plan all along. Or maybe Apple doesn't even know what they want yet. Maybe it's like the Apple Watch and they're just trying to do too much. And in a few years' time, they'll kind of fine-tune the product for it to do certain things better than others, including weight. Hopefully weight will not be an issue a few years from now. But hey, speaking currently, it really is a cool product, and I'm excited to try it. And no, I'm not going to schedule an appointment at the Apple Store. Call me cheesy, call me old-fashioned, but I want my first true Apple Vision Pro experience to be about that, my Apple Vision Pro. I'm not going to try it on Apple Store. I'm not even going to touch one if I happen to see one in public. I want everything to be pure and natural for me. God, I sound like such a virgin. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what are your thoughts on the Apple Vision Pro. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.